Hi! Welcome to Far Cry 4. We are doing the Royal Palace, the final mission after you have stormed the Royal Fortress. We'll be dealing with Pagan and looking at all three possible outcomes.
Amita, the gate's open. I'm heading for the palace.
The Royal Guard's counterattacking! We'll be there as soon as we can!
I'm going after Pagan.
So at this point you follow the marker. There's a note in this little guardhouse at the side that shows that Pagan isn't maybe such a bad guy after all. There's a message here to one of the guards called Pavel advising him to get out of town because things are coming to a head, which is kind of sweet when you think about it. Anyway, it's a pretty meandering drive up here. I've cut the majority of it out. There's some interesting stuff on the side, like lots of bits and pieces of broken huge statue, followed by a final turn around to the Royal Palace. And of course we'll find Pagan in here. There's also a Mohan Gale journal that you can come back and pick up at the end of the game if you don't get it on this run. But let's look at the different ways that this can play out. First of all, there will be a cutscene where we'll go in and talk to Pagan, and you'll see which choice I made first. That's coming up right now, and I'll see you after that to discuss the other options.
Come in! I apologize for the austerity I sent to help home. Chances are you shot them on your way in. Now, before we begin... To whom am I speaking? The son who returned to scatter his mother's ashes, or the lunatic who has murdered his way to the top of my mountain? If I was speaking to the first guy, then I would say, sit down. Let's be civilized. Enjoy some food. But we tried that before, didn't we? At our first meeting? You sat right here. Paul was off applying voltage to the nipples of your rude little +1. I stood just like this. And what were my exact words? Stay here. Enjoy the crab rangoon. Don't move. I'll be right back. Now, if you had just listened, just waited for me, then we would have come back here straight away, together, and scattered your mother's ashes. So then you must be the second guy who didn't listen, decided instead to join the other monkeys and start throwing his shit around. But I'll tell you what. I call a do-over. I say you have two choices. One, you could shoot me, boring, or you could sit down, enjoy some food, and you and I will go scatter your mother's ashes together.
So there we have it. The king is dead. Long live the king. That's what happens if you decide to shoot Pagan there and then. There are two more ways that this story can finish, so stick with this now. The credits will run, but obviously I'm going to skip that. I don't know how long they run or if there's hidden stuff in there, but I'll probably go back and watch those at some point. Anyway, here's what happens if you decide not to kill him. And this is actually super interesting. I strongly recommend you take this path given the choice.
So, who did you kill? Is it Amita? Sabal? Doesn't really matter. I already know. I just want to hear you say it.
Fuck you.
Oh my goodness, boy, you didn't even blink. Well, you do realize that you're just giving away your country, right? It's yours. It's always been yours. Kyrat is yours. I pulled you off the bus in the first place to pass it on to you. I suppose you could take it back. You're halfway there. One down, one to go. Not that I want to put ideas in your head. But at least now we know you have a taste for doing what it takes. Well, no more putting it off, I suppose. Well, come on. And don't forget your mother. You do realize that urn represents all that's left of the old RJ. The pre-Kyrat RJ. Once you spread those ashes, all the ties you have to that previous life are gone. And then what happens? Well, I suppose you could do what I did after Mohan killed Lakshmana. Oh, you didn't know that, did you? Huh. Yes, your father killed your half-sister, and then your mother killed him in return. I simply continued where she left off. I killed so many people for them. But then I realized I was only using Lakshmana's death as an excuse to do whatever I wanted to do. Just as you use those ashes as an excuse to do whatever you want to do. God damn if it isn't fun. Well, you finally made it. You know, the one and only time I walked into this place, I came in a sane man and came out like this. You will come out a king. Well, go on, then. Do what you came here to do.
So, full disclosure, I had no idea this was going to go down this way. You are the true ruler of Kyrat. Your mum killed your dad after she had a kid with Pagan, who's your half-sister. And there's a shrine here, which is where she wanted her bones scattered. Her ashes scattered. Mohan's note says that everything he's ever done for you and the future of Kyrat is in your hands. And here's Lakshmana's shrine, and you're putting your mum's ashes next to it. Bizarre, I still think that I've carried those around the entire game. Seems awfully unwieldy, and I'm glad they're still intact. Hopefully there was some pretty strong tape on the top holding all that down. But you may hear chopper noises coming any second now. There. So we've got Pagan here.
All choices have consequences, RJ! I've given you Kyrat, but I'm keeping the helicopter!
I'll be honest, keeping the helicopter seems like kind of a fair deal. At this point you've got two choices. If you've got an explosive weapon, you can shoot the helicopter out of the sky. Like that. The king is dead, long live the king once again. Or, of course, you can just let it fly away. And we'll have a look at that option too. Here we are. Are we going to shoot it down? Are we going to shoot it down? No, we're not. Ultimately, more or less the same outcome. All three options will lead to the credits. What happens differently is, or what plays out differently is what happens afterwards. If you killed him in the palace, you can return to the palace and find his corpse at the table, which you can loot at your will. If you killed him in the helicopter, then what you probably want to do is travel to Sahe Jile checkpoint. You can stop off at that thing just south there to pick up a buzzer to head up to the Royal Fortress. But it won't fly all the way up, you'll have to land a little bit beforehand. What you want to do is use some C4 or another explosive on that door. Sorry about the frame rate lagging a little bit there. I used another one, I don't know why, I was trying to blow it up a bit more. That note's now gone to Pavel, telling him to go. But if you carry on up this path, and as far as I'm aware you can't get a vehicle up here, carry on past that stone head that we saw last time, and just around the corner by the buried statue of arms is the helicopter crash site with Pagan's body right there. And unlike Sabal's, which you'll know about if you've watched the previous video, which I'll link to in the description, you can loot his corpse, sorry, and it's actually worth doing. He's got 650,000 rupees worth of kit on him. His golden pen is 300 and the pearl pin 2 is 350 and 250 cash, which is a total of 900. So for nearly 1,000,000 rupees, it's probably worth the detour. Now, depending on if you killed him or let him live, there'll be slight variation in the wording coming up. I'll show both.
Pagan's dead.
It's over?
Amita, it's done.
It's over? We won? I can't believe we won! Ajay, did you find out where Lakshmana was?
I found it, Amita. My mom's at rest now.
Alright, Ajay. You take your time. We'll need your help rebuilding, but that'll come tomorrow. Today, you've earned a rest. I owe you a great deal. Thank you.
So we're nearly done. We'll head down to Tirtha after a short cutscene with Yogi and Reggie to see what happened to Amita.
Hello, neighbour. Oh, Mr. Gale. Well, I guess that's it then.
No more mayhem and destruction. Hanging up the old rocket launcher.
All right. I really love what you've done with the place. It'll be sad to see you go.
Put it on the shelf, as it were. Gathering dust.
Unless...
Some unfinished business, perhaps. Huh? Loose ends, isn't it? Or people to kill? That's what I just said, Donald.
It's Yogi, you prat.
Smoke?
Smoke?
Not this time.
Thank you.
Not exactly sure what Yogi's thanking us for, but there we are. There's a funny mission complete sign here, which I quite like. Bright pink, always pleasing. And now we're off to Tirtha to see what happened to Amita. Just fast travel here at your leisure to unlock this cutscene.
I want you to go into every home and find every child. You bring them back here, to me. Go.
What's going on?
We need more soldiers to fight the holdouts from the Royal Army. And I need to start thinking about Kyrat's future. We have opium fields to protect, laws to enforce, workers to keep in line.
So you're forcing the people to join Golden Path?
I'm sacrificing our liberties for peace later. You can either get in line or get out of the way.
Please, मेरे बच्चों को छोड़ दो. हमारे पास और कुछ नहीं है, सिर्फ हमारे बच्चे हैं. Please.
Uto. This is a good thing. Your children will help Kyrat become a better place. If you love Kyrat, you will turn around, go into your homes, or I will have you shot.
Why are you doing this?
I'm doing what's best for my country.
And what about Bhadra? What does she have to say about this?
It doesn't matter what she has to say. I've sent her away. I don't need a Tarun Matara here for our enemies to rally behind.
Sent her away. Really? Where?
It's not your concern. And don't bother trying to find her. Bhadra's not coming back.
Dark days for Kyrat, with Amita in charge. She's essentially become a hybrid of Nor and Pagan, and is running the country to produce opium, heroin, which she sells to fund her lifestyle, which will presumably become more and more lavish as she gains less of a hold on reality, much as happened to Pagan. There's an eagle attack as I followed her out of town, and while she was hiding behind this car I decided to put one in her head, rather than let her horrible rule take control of Kyrat. And then I thought, just to make sure no one tries to resuscitate her, I'm going to chuck her over the river, over this little waterfall. Bye bye, Amita. Your way won't play. I'm the king of Kyrat now. So her body is gone, lost in the water. Anyway, I headed back to these guys to protect them from the eagle, and they were, I suppose, understandably quite upset. that I'd killed their glorious leader. Anyway, on the right we have a look at the elephants, the Uplay reward for the painted elephants. It's a bit lame, really. And on the left I've linked to the possible outcomes for Sabal if you pick Amita's path. So the ways you can kill or not kill him and where he'll be at the end of the story. Anyway, I hope that was interesting and useful. Hope you made it this far. Let me know in the comments which method you chose, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!